Hello, today I'm going to show you how to make your own little tree scene in Blender 2.8. The first thing we need to learn is how to rotate and scroll around your screen. So right now you need a three button mouse, and you hold the scroll button, and if you drag your mouse around, you'll see your scene rotates. Now if you want to scroll around, you click Shift key and then also the middle mouse button scroll wheel. Hold that down together and you can scroll around. Remember Shift and then the middle mouse button. Okay, so now we want to learn about the basics. One of the basics is making these panels do things. So this is the cursor select box. So we use our cursor to do this. It selects things. You can hold it down. If you keep on holding the mouse button down, you have all these different ones. We'll use select box. You also have the cursor. Now cursor I'm not going to use very much during this, but it's where any of your objects will be placed. So I can put that here. So yeah, you have that. So I'll be using select box most of the time. Move. So you click something, move it around in all of these directions. The red is for X, green is for Y, and blue is for Z. Rotate. Again, red is for X, green is for Y, and blue is for Z. It rotates around these axes. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Just be careful to do whatever you want to do with them before rotating, otherwise it can act weird. Scales things in the same way. Just remember not to go inside out like that. It will not appear in rendering engines, so be careful of that. And transform has all of the options I just told you about in it. Movement, it has the scale, rotation, all of them. Now let's get to it. We first want our cursor right back where it was, at the origin point. Now an origin point is from which a cube or literally any object, mesh even, rotates around, moves around from. So that's how that works. Now let's just put our cursor there so we make sure that it's doing it. Yeah, we can move it anyways after a while. Go back to select box, Shift A, get a plane, scale it up. GX, move it down just a bit. G and X. Now, how am I doing this? I'm using for the shortcut keys. Shortcut keys are G, R, S. G for movement, R for rotation, S for scale. Okay, so we learned that. Now, how to make it move, rotate, scale in different directions. For move, G. So you move it in the X. So while you have clicked G, you just need to click G and it will move around like that. Now just don't click any of the mouse button while you're doing this. So right click mouse button to not confirm it and it will move back to its original position, and left mouse button to confirm. I'm going to use Ctrl Z to undo it. Now, to make it work on the X, Y, or Z axis, you click G, so we're in that grab mode again, and then we click X, so X it moves in, Y it moves in, and Z, it moves in. Rotate, same. X, it moves in. It can rotate in X. You can rotate it in Y. You can rotate it in Z. Right click to not confirm, left click to confirm. And to tumble roll, you can click R and twice, and you get this tumble roll effect, which is pretty cool. Then you have that move, so we can use those as well here, but I recommend the GR and S key. They're much faster. G, X, just want to get it aligned perfectly with our cube. So if you have a numpad, then you can use the different keys on the numpad to go to already designed locations. Can just move that down there. Yeah, we have our plane perfectly in the middle of our cube where it should be. Now we S it, scale it up, don't need to do it that much. Now we have our ground, but we want our ground to have a color, and for that we need to go to the Eevee. Now Eevee is a great tool. You can use it for different kinds of texturings, colors, so that's very useful about it. It has all of these options. They're also in viewport display, but they don't show over there. Now we want to increase roughness to high so that this doesn't start reflecting off like a mirror. And we want our base color to be green, like grass. There we go, some green. However, it's kinda dark here, and it's looking like there's a light bulb. So how to change this? We are going to go to sun. Now sun, I made it extremely bright, so let's make that a little less to say 2. That should work. And as you can see, it has a kind of a sun effect everywhere it is there. However, you can rotate it around this little yellow dot to give it an angle, the sun. So just do it to your preference. I will go for the smallest shadow, which is there about. And we don't want it to ever be selected after this, almost. So to do that, we need to go to this filter button and click this thing. This thing means that it will not be able to be selected. So I click that. Now I try selecting, it doesn't get selected. Same we want to do with the ground, just scale it up a bit and do it with the ground. So now you can not only, you can do it from here, so you'll need to click these again to make them selectable again. Same with, well, camera we can leave around for a little while, so now they won't be a bit annoying during our thing. So let's remove this cube. Now to do this, we click X key and that's delete. Or I'm going to do Control Z. You can just click the delete button on a laptop or computer, and that just straight away deletes it. Now our cursor seems it's just about in the right place, so we're going to use Shift A, make a mesh. This mesh will be the cylinder. Now it's very blocky and it's not looking like it's on our ground, so let's move it up. You can use this, or I'll be using GZ. I'm going to turn the select box on again. So GZ. Now SZ, so it scales it up in the Z axis. SZ a little less. GZ. Up there. There we go. We have our tree stump. Now let's make its base color a little bit brown like. Let's see what to do there. Yeah, just make a bit to that side. It's kind of red right now, just trying to get a good color. Yeah, that's just lower its darkness like that, kinda. Yeah, that actually looks really good. But you can see these little face-like things, and that is really what they are called, faces. You right-click with your mouse and shade smooth. Woohoo! Now this is looking like a real tree stump, almost. Now, since it hasn't lived for any years, it doesn't have any rings. Ha ha ha. Now let's add our own little leaves to it. Let's make a round one. Shift A, make a UV sphere, scale it up just a little, yeah, that much. G, Y, new material. This is called a material, so you can get them from these sites, but I say let's create our own that doesn't look exactly like our ground. Shade smooth. Okay, that looks about right. Yeah, that shadow looks pretty good too. Now we have a pretty good tree, but trees have branches and this tree does not have any branches. So how to fix that? We click the select box, click this stump. Let's Shift D. Now this is the way of copy pasting in Blender. Shift and D, Shift key and then D. Then you move it to maybe in the Y-axis, I guess, and scale it down a lot. Scale it in the Z a bit. Say there. Okay, let's move it to Y right in there. Now it looks like it's never gonna work, but we just need to rotate it in the X-axis. You can see that little line pointing us out there. GY. Ta-da! We have got our own little stick twig. Now Shift D this again. Scale it way down. Right about there. G it. Put it there. Just a bit. GX. Then GZ. And yeah, that looks like a pretty good branch. Shift, Shift. So Shift is to select multiple objects if you are on select box, so you just click Shift here, Shift here. Okay, and now Shift D. So lots of shifting is happening. Rotate, rotate, tumble rotate. I'm going to just do just for fun. GY, GX, I guess. Yeah, that works. That looks like pretty good. Shift D again. Now we can just add a little bit more detail. R, put it there. G, X, G. Yep, that looks really good. Just make them a bit smaller so they look a bit not exactly the same. Now that's pretty good. Now, do you remember we said that it's not going to select anything on the ground anymore? So just like that happened. So the yellow lines mean they are selected. Now we want to make a small forest. Shift D, X. Go there. Rotate. Say Z. Rotate. Now we have our own little round trees, but why can't we have our own kind of a conical tree? So let's just copy our stump there. Shift D, and Y. Let's do Y near us. Now let's move this, put that there. Ooh, nearly perfect. Yeah, that looks about kinda right. Not really, but still. Might as well say. Yeah, perfect. Now that's actually perfect. Shift A. Scale it up. Scale it in the Z a little less. And scale it in actually a little bit more. A little bit more. GZ. Up there. Now we're going to copy the same material we used here right there. Oh, and also one thing, when you do this same kind of a thing, so say I'm going to take this cursor off, very annoying, material 03. So let's actually name this. So here you just click here and you can name it, let's just say leaf. Yay, leaf. Leaf, leaf, leaf. Okay, everything has a leaf. We're going to go here, click on leaf. Right click, shade smooth. Again, works out very well. And so that's looking quite good, but we want to make it a little less like a mirror on these two. So how did I just do that on all of them? So I just made the roughness go up. And since they're all using the leaf material, so they all got affected. And so you have a really nice kind of things. But let's make her cone a bit better. Shift D, C. So copy paste, SZ. Maybe S also like this. Or not. Yeah, that's actually quite good. So yeah, we have our own little tree. Now, for the fun part. We are going to first put all these together. You can see that's gone quite well. Shift D, X. Ta-da! We copied multiple objects. Now RZ, move them like that. Okay, we got our own kinda forest. But we want a proper forest, and so we are going to just do this a few times. Y, rotate, Z. Now we select more. So this is like a cycle that you can continue on forever. But yeah, rotate that. Z. Looks quite good. Now you, oops, that's a bit funny. Floating trees. Did we add some rocket boosters? Nobody knows. Jeezy. Yeah, that works. Put this. Now we got all of them. Shift D. Again, once again. Shift D. Oops. Shift D and Y. Shift D, X actually. X works. So that's looking even better, even better, even better. Now we use Shift to select all of them. Shift D again. Now we can just keep on doing this to forever. It's really satisfying. That it is really fun. Too much fun. Yeah, probably should make it unselectable. Our camera. Shift D once again. Okay, now I think we've done enough trees. It's definitely looking like a forest now. So probably our camera cannot catch them all. So let's go into our camera. So 0 on the numpad, or you could click this button right there. Now what's happened to our camera? We can't see anything. Now you could move it with the G key and the middle mouse key, but that's a bit kind of, you can't get extreme accuracy with it. So I go to edit. So you go here, right there. onto the camera. Yes, right there. Onto the sorry about that. Move to 0. Get inside your own little camera. So I've already made this, so walk navigation, so you can move that around. Get our forest. That looks really nice, I have to say. Okay, now we want to render an image. Now, how to do this? So you see this? This is TMP. That makes it that it will go nowhere. And if it goes nowhere, that's probably not exactly the best idea. Doesn't really matter much because it won't do anything. We'll take it out from sequencer. Make sure it's a PNG and RGBA. Now you see this camera, the part that isn't faded, like darkish. So this is what your camera will be seeing, and this is what you'll get in your picture. So render image. So you see this is called the Blender render. Quite aptly named. So we can move that around, make this big, put the Blender render. So this is our image. You can see it here in the Blender render. Now image, save as. Now you can make forest 1.png. Save its image. Okay, now close this, and your image should be in your folder where you have kept it. Okay, so thank you for watching. Bye. Thank you.